All right, let's talk about Jalen Milroe, who had I would say, an up and down performance. There were certainly some flashes that we'll get into. There also just are things he has to work on, right? Young third round pick. You don't expect him to be perfectly polished already, and so he wasn't, right? So we'll talk about some of the issues, and then also some of the good plays. We'll talk about it all. Let's just jump into it. Let's start off with this play. The play you see on your screen, it's going to be a man coverage concept. And what's the thing about Jalen Milroe? Well, do you really want to play a cover one man blitz against him? Because if you do this, okay, you have the safety downfield. He's looking at Milroe, but he's downfield. It's 3rd and 8. He won't be able to tackle him. The other 5 guys in coverage are all playing man coverage. They might not even be able to see Jalen Milroe. And if they do see him and see him start to run, well, you can't abandon your assignment to go tackle him, right? So there's all of that. Milroe takes the snap. Quickly, he kind of looks up and says, well, hey, I could make, throw one here, give a receiver a chance, but why don't I just, utilize my best asset? He's a great runner. That's what he's going to decide to do here. Except the issue is there's 5 NFL caliber players who are able to, come hold, and it's the blitzing linebacker who ends up tackling Milroe on that play. So this is just the kind of thing. This is why a lot of times the rushing quarterbacks in college can get away with stuff that you can't get away with in the NFL. In college, you might be able to get outside the pocket, make that play work. Not in the NFL. He also had some protecting the football issues. So this is a 3rd down and 6 situation. And again, it's going to kind of go to that. I want to see him get the ball out of his hands quicker. Part of why he's considered a project quarterback because of this stuff. You see right here, you have a one-on-one matchup towards the top of the screen. Milroe is going to take the snap. He looks up in that direction, and this is, is it open? Not like wide open or anything. And I actually kind of see why he doesn't want to make this throw, because there are other Green Bay players kind of just in the pathway, even if it's, I think that he could get the ball there. I think he probably should make this throw. I think throwing it a little bit low, leading your receiver, hoping you can pick up the first down is probably the best chance here. You don't have to, though, but if you're not going to, you have to put 2 hands on the ball and get ready to move. Instead, he keeps 1 hand on the ball, he waits there, and ultimately he loses the football right there. He actually does put both hands on the ball, but then he looks like he kind of like lets it go a second when he's getting tackled. So either way, got to protect that football a little bit better, and just got to be aware of when the pressure is coming. Pressure comes quick at the NFL level, right? Not Alabama anymore. You don't get those long pockets like you used to. Also, this on the quarterback sneak, they picked it up, but then he lost the football on that one as well, and the Packers recovered. So, a couple of fumbles there. Again, just gotta protect that football better. Good job getting the first down, but these are important things to make sure you're doing right. We saw plenty of positives as well. This play is going to, again, show off the athleticism that he has. It's going to be a man coverage concept once again for Milroe. This time he takes a snap, and with the edge rusher toward the bottom of the screen, kind of taking a really wide angle, I think Milroe is going to do a very good job on this play. Watch him step up and get outside the pocket, keeps his head downfield, but ultimately decides rushing is the way to go, and rightfully so. He gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So good play there. It got called back due to a penalty, but still a good play by Milroe on that one. So yeah, again, you get why he likes to run, right? Like he's good at it. It's not something he should take out of his game. Just think maybe it's always a balance, right? And maybe you need to not lean so heavily to the rushing. Because again, like going over here, I do see instances of him doing a really good job at running the offense. Like you see the flashes. So this play, it's going to be a 3rd down and goal. So this is tough, right? The main goal here on 3rd and goal at the 16-yard line is don't turn the ball over. Like that's really step 1. Milroe was going to take the snap, and you see he first starts off by looking all the way towards his right, and he could make this quick slant route, but I actually don't think that's ever what he was trying to do. I think the goal is fake as though he's doing that, get the receiver who's going more over the middle more open. You see those Green Bay players and how focused they are on covering the slant route. So Milroe then doesn't throw it there, throws it over the middle. Listen, safety came in and made the play. He was aware of it. They didn't get the touchdown, but that's a good play by Milroe, right? Like that's him understanding how to use his eyes, understanding how this aspect of football works. I want to see more of that from him. I really do, because he is capable of that stuff. Like this next one's another kind of example of that. It's a zone coverage concept. They're going to run a play action, and they're going to have a receiver run over the middle. That's the way this play is designed to work. Play action gets the gets the linebackers to move in. You throw over the top of them. As you see, Milroe takes the snap, and once we get to right here, I mean, this is open. When you just have this simple stuff, things can work out well. That's what's happening right here. Milroe not going to miss those throws. He'll miss the occasional one, but if you get someone wide open, he will hit that. So yeah, all this stuff is good. This is what you want to have happen with the for the Seattle Seahawks. So that's good. But again, I have to go over here now because I do see this stuff, and like this is what you have to get out of his system, and part of why I'm thinking this guy might not be, listen, they went out and they paid Sam Darnold a bunch of money. They didn't do that to not play him. Like, Darnold is the starter. That's going to be that. But ultimately, I think plays like this make me say, like, yeah, this is probably not going to be I don't know if I would love to throw Milroe in this year. This might be just a sit and wait, and again, maybe he can develop into a player down the road type of thing. Because, like, this play, it's a zone coverage concept, cover 2 zone. Milroe takes the snap, and this concept is working offensively. You have a receiver who's really wide open. Like, this play works. So on a 3rd and 10, he can just let it loose, and you have this completion. This is something that you have to have the killer instinct in the passing game. He has it in the rushing game, but as you see here, he decides to try and run. And again, just edge rushers in the NFL, they'll be able to not let you convert on that, right? Like they're athletic enough, and even backups are able to make that happen, right? So it just, I want to see him, rip it more, right? Like, he's a good thrower. I want to see him just use that stuff more. We did see him start to settle in the fourth quarter, really kind of have some of his best play in the fourth quarter. This drive in particular, it's 1st and 15. Milroe's going to take the snap, and you see, again, looking down the field, doesn't love what he sees. I can't give an opinion on this too much because I can't see what's down the field, so I don't know if that's the right thing to do or not the right thing to do, but here is an impressive thing to do. Watch him be able to get outside the pocket and look at that throw. And again, this is why you can live with maybe some of the not being a perfectly polished player right away, because he will give you just these really impressive plays. He had a run a little bit later on. That was a really nice run to get him a first down on this play. Ultimately, he threw a touchdown pass. That's a really nice play. Again, when he gets the ball out of his hands quickly, it's impressive, right? So he can do this. This one as well. 1-1 matchup, taking the chance. Listen, that wasn't caught, but that was a great throw, right? So, like, definitely, you see the highlights. You see the flashes with Jalen Milroe. You see the vision with Jalen Milroe, and this is kind of why I think it's a pretty good situation for him to be in, where, hey, he doesn't have to come in and beat a guy right away. He can learn. He can get better as a player. A lot of these projects, it seems like you almost have to just be good right away. And, well, I think some quarterbacks, sure, throw him in right away. Some you don't want to do it with, and luckily for him, again, he doesn't have to play week 1, right? That's a good thing. Because, like, we also have this one, which this was actually the play before that downfield pass that I showed you. Pause it right here. You see that he's getting outside the pocket once again. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Again, he can, we just showed a highlight real level play. I want him to push the ball down the field more. However, this time it does not go well, and honestly, it was lucky that it wasn't worse than that. I'll show the other angle where you see that very easily could have been a pick. And then, of course, in the biggest of spots here, having that fumbled snap, I don't know whose fault exactly that was. It looked like the timing was a bit off when the guard touched the center. It looked like he snapped it a little bit later than you usually expect, but I don't know exactly what happened. It's just kind of a weird play there all around. But again, you can't let that happen. Peyton Manning used to always say, if that happens once, it's one too many. It can't happen, especially in a spot like this. I know it's a meaningless game, but still, it can't happen. So yeah, ultimately an up and down performance for Jalen Milroe. But you know what? There still are some flashes, some things to work on. I'm not overly concerned about this, but I wasn't like blown away either, because there are still those concerns. You got to figure that stuff out, right? That's just kind of what it comes down to. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.